Greatest things ever. Now, hold on. I'm starting up the YouTube stream, so we will be live on both. Do not. Don't want my phone getting all fucked up, so we're just going to hold it like this. What's going on, guys? Told you guys I'd be live here on a Saturday. You know, changing up the vibe. I'm usually not live on Saturdays, and I'm not going to be here very long today. This is a very rare occurrence where you get a live flay on a Saturday. 6 o'clock. Hoko in 3 hours? Fuck yeah, goated. Good for you, man. Get fucking ready. It's a big night. Hoko game was last night. How'd that go? But, dude, I just found out. I've been living here for a while now. I was just telling the TikTok stream the same exact thing. I've been living here for a long time. And I just found out, literally today, that great sushi place, hibachi place down the road from me, Saturday happy hours. I did not even know that was the legal thing. I feel like that's like violating some sort of like the Geneva Convention or something. Are you drunk from happy hour? Not at all. I had one fucking Moscow Mule. So I'm just like, I'm a little bit like, you know, I'm feeling good. I did go to the gym today. I did do my usual 30 minutes on the fucking Stairmaster. So doing that and then going right into a Moscow Mule definitely gives you a little bit more of a feeling than usual. Fucking terrible. I fumbled with that girl. Long story. Oh shit, what? What happened? Somebody say happy hour. Yeah, Joe. I just found out the sushi place down the road from me does happy hours on Saturdays. And I am absolutely shook by that. They have got a customer in me for life. Are you watching college football or are you skipping for a live? I had the games on. I figured I'd do a live. I'm going out in a little bit. So this is not a permanent. I'm not sitting here all night. It's not happening. But you know, you find out there's a Saturday happy hour at the fucking sushi place down the road from you, you hit it up. It's just, it's a no-brainer. It's an absolute no fucking brainer. I did not know that was a thing. Like I said, I feel like that's violating like the Geneva Convention or some shit, but hey, I don't care. I'm in. Shout out everybody that's on TikTok right now. I got the YouTube stream up and the TikTok. I'm not allowed to fucking stream on Streamlabs yet from TikTok, so I'm kind of doing two things here at once. So if I miss any comments, let me know. Dude, good sushi and a happy hour. Let's go. Dude, I crushed a couple tuna rolls. Had a Moscow Mule. You know, like you go to your sushi restaurant, you get a Moscow Mule. It's just like the normal thing to do, right? Like anybody does that. So you aren't doing a 17-hour YouTube live right now? Not that I know of. Cubs, Brewers, who you got? Good question. Cubs or Brewers? You know, I want to say the Brewers. I would love to see the Brewers do it. 2 bullpen games going. I think the Cubs just have a better bullpen. I think the Cubs bullpen is better than the Brewers pen. I'm going to lean the Cubs here just because they got a better bullpen. Brewers are some of the worst chokers I've ever seen if they blow this. It's true. They were in control. Like I said, I like the Cubs bullpen. Anything can happen in one game of baseball. Anything can. Absolutely anything can happen in one game of ball. One game of baseball. Baseball is... Angela, if this chat remembers, I picked the Brewers to make the series. I don't. I almost got arrested at the Jets game. Listen, Nathan. I tell you guys stories about my life because my life has been a fucking mess. Kind of like how I almost got fucking locked up in London. People talk. Things happen. You know, you got to move on. You survive in advance, baby. Jim Valvano. That was a big Jimmy V quote. Survive in advance, baby. I live my fucking life by that. A little bit of both. But Joe, I think I do remember you taking the Brewers. The thing is, I have one of those like ridiculous championship parlays in where you take like a bunch of teams to win the title. And I have the Cubs. I took the Cubs. That was like June when I took that. So I took the Cubs. I have the Cubs to win the World Series, the Bills to win the Super Bowl. I think the Dallas Stars to win the Stanley Cup. The girl was checking you out when you said Jets, Jets. Yeah, you know what, Nathan? I'm sure it wasn't for my looks by any means. I don't think she was checking me out because I looked good. It's because I looked like an absolute fucking jackass. I got 3/4 of the CS right in my picks before the season. I picked the Cubs, Dodgers, Yankees, Mariners. It's pretty good. I had the Mets there, so that's just me. But yeah, listen, Nathan, when you were making as much of a scene as I was, you know, people were looking at me. People thought there was something wrong with me, for the most part. That wasn't like That was not looks of endearment by any means. There was nobody looking at me like, hey, look at that guy. They were more like, hey, stay away from that guy. You don't think Panthers pulling off a three-peat? You know what, Derek? When I did it, I was kind of just spitballing. I like the Dallas Stars. I like the roster they have. The Panthers are really good too. I just think the Eastern Conference is a little bit loaded. I think the Dallas Stars are supremely talented, where I'm thinking they get to the finals, and then I could like cash out of some sorts. I'm at least waiting till after the Bills get like. I need to see what the Bills do, because like I do think the Bills have quite an easy path to get to the Super Bowl this year. So hopefully the Cubs can figure it out. Hopefully the Cubs win tonight. It all comes down to the Cubs winning tonight and winning the World Series. Panthers can't do it without Barkov. Let's be real. Vegas or Edmonton are going to win. I don't think so. I don't think that's being real. I think that's a little bit of an overstatement. I do like Carter. What's up, man? I like the Stars a lot. I'm going to a Panthers game. Hell yeah. I think the Panthers still have a shot even without Barkov. They're still stacked. They still have a really good roster. The Eastern Conference is not bad. Carolina's good always. The Capitals are good again. Toronto's got a lot of star power. The thing is, they can never put it together. I don't know. The Panthers are really good, though. And there's always Tampa Bay lurking. But I don't know. I'm a big fan of the Dallas Stars. I feel like they haven't played to their full potential. Canadians are going to be really good this year. I don't agree with that. I don't think the Canadians are going to be really good. I think the Canadians are going to be better than they were a year ago. But I don't know about really good. I think people, trust me, take it from an Islander fan. People are highly overestimating the signing of Noah Dobson. Highly. Noah Dobson's a great player. Very good player. He's a fucking headache when he's on your team. Michigan State lost to UCLA. We want to talk about UCLA being back? Are the UCLA Bruins back? People are saying. People are talking. But I'm not big on the Canadians. I think they're going to be better. They're probably going to be a fun team to watch this year. I don't know about really good. I think really good is a bit of an overstatement. Canadians being really good? Nah, that's pushing it. Like I said, fun team to watch, I'm sure. Maybe a team that, like, by the end of the year, they're in that spot to make a run, like, to the postseason, to get in. They can sneak in their way in the playoffs, for sure. Vegas is winning the Cup ticket from a Kings fan. Yeah, they also got... I forgot about Mitch Marner. I'm going to Vegas next month. Carter, I'm an Islander fan. New York Islanders. I will be in Vegas next month when the Islanders play the Vegas Golden Knights, and I cannot wait. Can't wait. This is the year they take the leap. I don't think it is, Goated. I think they're like maybe one more year away. Listen, Dobson's a great player. He was a great Islander. He is not a very good defensive defenseman. He's very good on the offensive side of the puck. Like, he'll add to their power play. He's a great top part of the power play, and it'll be a really good, really, really good power play with all those guys, with Caulfield, and like that whole power play is going to be great. Other than that, Noah Dobson doesn't bring a ton to the table. Defensively, he's a little bit of a liability back there. I think he got a lot of money that I don't think he should have got. She was looking right at you and smiled hard. Listen, Nathan. Again, she was probably thinking, like, what's wrong with this guy? Because clearly there was something wrong with me. That's what it comes down to. Guys, if you're joining me on TikTok and you're wondering who I'm talking to, oh, I almost dropped my phone. Got my chat up here for YouTube. We are live on both. Derek, we're going to be so mid this year. Holland sucks ass. I don't know. The Kings have looked okay. Like they look good against Vegas. I love Quentin Byfield's one of my favorite players to watch in the whole league. You got guys like Fiala, Kempe, Kopitar. I feel like Quentin Byfield gets like thrown under the radar with all that going on. Cody Ceci does nothing. Cody Ceci's like, so many teams over the years have grabbed Cody Ceci and they're like, wow, we got Cody Ceci, and it's the same shit every time. It doesn't amount to shit because he's not a good player. He's like he's a guy that like, it would be great to have like a 7th D man and you throw him back there when like you really need somebody, but that's about it. I'm not big on Cody Ceci at all. I never have been. The only thing Cody Ceci did was end Dustin Brown's career with the game-winning goal in 2021. True. He did do that. The Islanders open home opener tonight. I'm excited for that. I'll say though, like, you know, the Islanders did not look good against the Penguins. They didn't look good at all. Like they looked kind of miserable out there. It was not a very good showing. They lost 4-3. That game could have easily been like a 7-3 hockey game. That was like, the Islanders don't play defense. It's not good. They I don't know. I love Schaefer. I think Matthew Schaefer might be the fastest guy on skates I may have ever seen. Like, if you want to have appointment television, turn on an Islander game and just watch that kid fucking skate around. It is unbelievable how fast fucking Matthew Schaefer is. Unbelievable. Like, I don't think I'm being facetious by saying he might be faster than Connor McDavid in a straight skate. Like, legitimately. He was like, there was one play where he was like underneath the fucking Lafreniere and Byfield are so good together. Kepe Kopitar always dogs, Kuzmenko, Trevor Moore, no. But our defense needs to lock in. Yeah, it's usually what it comes down to. But Schaefer was like underneath the face-off dots, and he made an outlet pass to Matt Barzal, and then outskated everybody down the ice for a 2-on-1. It was insane. Guy's a freak. Doughty, Clark, Anderson. I mean, Drew Doughty, I feel like, is like maybe 2-3 years over the hump. Like, I think he's done. Gave away Spence for nothing, yeah. Holy shit, finally made it back to the Flayers Cup. Welcome back. Hell yeah. How we doing? Hockey is boring? That's insane, Nathan. You gotta go to a game. You gotta do yourself a favor. Doughty isn't as good as he used to be, but he's still a really good defenseman. He's still solid. He's definitely like lost a step a little bit. Doesn't bring as much, I feel like, on the offensive end, but you know, he's Drew Doughty. He's still got the instincts and shit. Check out Miles Wood from Colorado. He's fast as hell. He's probably the fastest. Miles Wood is fast as shit. I'm aware of that. See what, we're chilling. We're talking a little hockey here. You got to watch the highlight of Matthew Schaefer, what he did. Like, when I say it like stunned me how quick he was. Got UFC and 2 college games pulled up. Life is good. That's the fucking Saturday. I'm heading out in a little bit. I'm meeting up with my with 2 of my friends. We're just going to watch Game 5 and college football. You know, perfect Saturday night. We're getting some storms here tomorrow night, so I think I'm going to be working Columbus Day. I got to make some videos before the wind comes. I'm going to have to do that in a little bit. I'm just going to rattle off like 3 videos and then schedule them. We never got rid of Gabe Velarde yet. But yeah, that's that. Nothing says Saturday like having a couple fucking Moscow mules at your local sushi place. Flay shorts are fire, dude. I'm trying to up my short game, man. And by short game I mean, never mind. The one today, that was a little bit. I found all these old pictures. I'm like, I gotta show you guys these. Like, it's too good. Now, one of Flay shorts, Loki had me, bro. Shit was hilarious. Which one? Shorts are great, man. Shorts are an easy way to like do quick fucking, you know, take your ideas and just put them out there. I do have a burner TikTok now. If you guys want to follow it, I can. I was telling you guys that I have it. If anybody is on TikTok and wants to see what I do beforehand, because pretty much I make all the shorts on TikTok. So if you want early access, I'll show you guys. Hold on. I'm gonna put it in the chat. Access. Whoa, that's too loud. Hold on. Give me a minute. I have slacked on my shorts, both on YouTube and Fashion Wise. Yeah, I've slacked on my short game shorts on YouTube. Got to post more. It's the easiest way to like grow your channel. Honestly, it's really like ridiculous how easy it is. Come on, I want to let me do this. All right, I got to do it on my phone. Hold on. Like, if you post good shit on shorts, people are gonna find you. That is so fucking loud. Jeez. Hold on. All right, I'm sending it in here. So this is my burner TikTok if you guys want to find me there. Just that's where all my original stuff. I'm gonna be selfish and prep for my live later and make it short. Love your flight, and fellas, no. Hey, Joe, go have a good night. Have a great fucking stream tonight. I will be out and about, Joe. I'll definitely be pulling up your stream while I'm out. The friend not having an athletic bone in his body, dude. You know what? It's funny, Goated, because Flay, you're also going out to see if you can hook up with an 80-year-old woman. No. I'm going out to watch sports. I'm not into that. Yeah, dude, make your short. Let people know you're going to be live tonight, Joe. People are looking forward to that. What are we drinking tonight, Joe? But yeah, go to. It's funny because one of my buddies one of the buddies I'm meeting up with tonight said it in like our group chat. He was like, dude, Shohei Ohtani's missing so many pitches like that are right over the plate. And I was like, no, like who the fuck are you to talk? Like he was my one friend who like literally, never played a sport or anything, and I was like, yeah, you're not that guy. You shouldn't be the one talking. Yeah, C White, there was news a couple weeks ago. I'm not gonna go into it. But it is what it is. You live and you learn. But that's low key me. Even though I'm decently athletic, I'm always the one that's I could do better. My favorite one, Goated, and I do it all the time. I am the worst with this. Like, I'm sitting there eating a fucking bag of chips. I'm gonna make a video like this. I'll be like eating a bag of Ruffles or some shit, and I'll be like, dude, I don't understand why LeBron didn't dunk that. I've never been able to dunk. I have never dunked in my no, like Nathan, I didn't mean it like that. I mean like, life goes on. You survive in advance, as Jimmy V said. That's honestly, but back to that, like where you're eating a bag of chips, and I'm like, LeBron should have dunked that. Like, I have never been able to touch rim in my life. Who the fuck am I to say, hey, LeBron should have dunked that while Bam Adebayo's contesting his fucking dunk? Who am I? That sort of shit. But yeah, I survive in advance, baby. Jimmy V, that's the greatest quote of all time. That is not what happened there, Derek. Not even close. But, dude, it's like, survive in advance, Jimmy V style. But, yeah, so, I was just thinking about it recently, like, thank God. I was so close. Like, I was telling you guys on stream that I'm thinking about going back to London for the Jets. And if I booked this trip and went to London, and I'm in London right now, I would be, like, freaking out. I'd be like, what in the fuck is wrong with me? Like, why did I ever think... I'd be like, why did I ever think going to London for the Jets was a good idea a second time? So, thank God I didn't do it. No, I know, Derek. I'm fucking around. Listen, I'm a little bit, loosey-goosey here right now. Bro, I love Joe Flacco. He's such a likable guy in his intro interview. Joe Flacco's the man. I've always been a big fan of Flacco. But man, you want to talk about like, they're about to put Joe Flacco behind the Bengals offensive line. That's elder abuse. That's legitimately elder abuse. It's absolutely fucking crazy that's something they're planning on doing. Like, you can't do that to that guy. He was asked why he's still playing at his age. He said, you only got one life and one opportunity to play football. Bengals will still suck with Flacco. Well, they can't block. Their offensive line is fucking awful. Joe Flacco's definitely less mobile than Browning. Like, there's no way. I remember Joe Flacco played a couple games for the Jets a few years ago, and the Jets' offensive line was bad. It was like anytime the protection broke down, he would just go to the ground. It was smart. Yeah, no, he is really good. He won't die because Joe Flacco's very good at knowing when like he's done and he just goes down. He's smart. He's got very good instincts. He's never gonna take a big hit. Flacco's stiff as a board. He doesn't move. Yeah, but like I said, trust me. I watched it with the Jets. He is very good at just knowing when it's time to give up and goes down to the ground. And at that age, at that part of your career, nobody's going to fault you for it. Nobody's going to be like, Joe. It'll never happen. He literally like he looks like a statue back there, but then can throw the ball like 50 fucking yards. He's such like an underrated like overall just like highlight reel quarterback. Hold on. make. Browning can't move and can't pass. Flacco just can't move. Yeah, Joe Flacid, I like that. But no, Flacco, like I said, he's an upgrade for sure. But it's just with how bad that Bengals offensive line is, it might not help that much. Thought the Bengals should have got Jameis Winston. I think if the Bengals were smart, they probably would have tried to get like Russell Wilson. Like, it would have been worth a shot to get a guy like him. Maybe go after a guy like Joe Milton or something like that. Just somebody that can move a little bit. But I guess Flacco was the only one available. Yeah, Flacco can throw the ball. Like, he can throw. I just think like it's bad self-awareness on the Bengals' part. Flacco passing skills are better even at his age. It's a tiny upgrade. Jamar Chase might. Yeah. Russ is worse than Flacco. No, listen. Russ is definitely not as good as Joe Flacco. I'm not saying Russ is a better player. I'm saying the mobility. I mean, Russell Wilson's mobility is not as good, but in terms of like the Bengals' sake, with how bad their offensive line is, I don't know if Flacco is the right choice. That's all I'm saying. Unless like they're trying to get payback for all the years he killed them, like maybe all the years he killed them, whether he was with the Ravens or the Browns, maybe they're just putting him back there because they want revenge. I don't know. Dolphins should have drafted Sanders before Browns did. It would have made a lot of sense for the Dolphins. It would have made a lot of sense for the Ravens too. Like looking back on that, Shedeur Sanders literally I'm pretty sure he told the Ravens that he didn't want to go there because he wanted a chance to start. If he was there, he'd be in a great spot. He'd be playing. Which, listen, I don't think Shedeur Sanders is going to be a great NFL quarterback by any means, but, like, he would have fit what they needed in Baltimore, and he'd probably be their backup. Same thing with Miami. Miami, he might have still been the third string behind Zach Wilson, but still. That would have at least seen a future. I guess, like, now he's the backup in Cleveland, but, like, there's a reason they drafted Dillon Gabriel. Like, that's what I can't stand. One of the things I can't stand about this whole thing is you got people all over the internet, people all over social media that are like, when is Shedeur Sanders going to get? Like, why would Shedeur Sanders get his chance before Dillon Gabriel? Zach Wilson is the third string? Who's the backup? Oh, Seward. I didn't even know that. Like, it's fucking crazy to me that people are like, Quinn Ewers? I thought Zach Wilson was the second string, but whatever. Yeah. But I want to look that up. I believe you. I was wrong. No, he's not. No, Quinn Ewers is the third string. Zach Wilson's the backup. I just looked up the depth chart. I thought I had that right. Sanders is second string now, but the problem is he's behind a rookie. But people are like, oh, he should get his opportunity. No, he shouldn't. Like, no, Dillon Gabriel got drafted there for a reason. They drafted Shedeur Sanders for some ungodly reason. I'm not even sure why Cleveland thought it was a good idea. Sanders is going to be better than Justin Fields? No, he's not. I'm sorry. I don't agree with that. Like, listen, maybe saying no, he's not firmly is a little bit ridiculous, but I don't have high hopes for Shedeur Sanders. I don't. Like, I don't like, and there's so many other things to it. Like, talent wise is one thing. Sanders isn't good as people make him seem to be. Exactly. Shedeur Sanders has a lot of flaws in his game. A lot. Like, there is a ton of flaws when it comes to Shedeur Sanders. His accuracy isn't great. The amount of times he's been in interviews and has completely humiliated himself. It's not a good look for a guy that thinks he deserves to be a franchise quarterback. Like, you don't want your franchise quarterback doing shit like that. Like, listen, and I will say, I'm even going to back him up on that interview. Like, when Dillon Gabriel got named the starter, people were killing him. He was taking a shot at Rex Ryan, which I think was a great move. I think it's a great thing to do. It was just bad timing and bad optics with the whole thing. But, like, Shedeur Sanders has so many, like, constantly throwing teammates under the bus. His constant inaccuracy. What do you know about franchise quarterbacks? You're a Jet fan. I know that we've never had one. Nathan, what makes you think Shedeur Sanders is tell me why he is. Swayze Love, what's up? Give me a reason why Shedeur Sanders is a franchise quarterback. I want to hear this. Because what do you know about franchise quarterbacks if you think Shedeur Sanders is one? That's like, let's hear it. Because for one, he wasn't even really that good of a college quarterback. He was solid. He could move around a little bit. He threw the ball down the field. That's about it. Anytime he was in any sort of situation against a defense that was even like remotely capable, remotely coherent, his accuracy and pocket awareness and great decision making. His accuracy is awful. He is not very accurate. His pocket awareness. No, he holds on to the football way too long. His great decision making. Shedeur Sanders and great decision making is just not something that go together. I've never heard a positive story about Shedeur Sanders interacting with his teammates, coaches in the past 4 years. Decision making. No, he holds on to the football far too long. His pocket awareness is actually terrible. His accuracy was like never that good. He had great arm strength and he like got away with it. Decision making, absolutely not. He was somebody that like he would just make throw. He kind of would like. He always seemed to be a guy who had an idea of what he was going to do before the play even happened. Like I said, I think one of his only strengths is like he's got great arm strength. He could throw the ball very well on the run. Travis Hunter loves Shedeur, so of course he did. He was his quarterback. Like, oh, all right, Travis Hunter loved him. Never mind, guys. Franchise quarterback Shedeur Sanders. You're right, Nathan. You're totally right. Travis Hunter loved him, so let's just move on with that. He got embarrassed in the fucking Alamo Bowl by BYU. Somebody just followed me. Ryan Larson, thanks for the sub. Appreciate it, man. That should be right there. Ryan, appreciate that, bro. He'll take a sack instead of throwing the ball away. And yeah, he takes way too many sacks. He'll hold on to the ball, try to make a play, instead of just getting rid of the ball. He never, at any point in college, had any respect for the football. That's a big thing. Like, he never cared about possession. Sanders lacks elite arm strength with his throw. Sorry, I have it backwards. I apologize. His accuracy is pretty good. I apologize. Sorry. I have it backwards. This is like he is an accurate quarterback. His arm strength was not that good. It was the opposite. But he was good because he threw the ball 5 or 6 yards down the field. Yeah, no, I apologize. Nathan, you're right that like he would complete a lot of passes. Like he was good in short check down situations. You're right. Tight coverage limitation forces him to rely heavily on timing and anticipation rather than raw power. Absolutely. I apologize. I had it backwards. He doesn't have the arm strength. He was pretty accurate in college, but like the spread offense. You know, spread offenses are made to like quick routes and shit like that. I like by the end of last year, I didn't think Shedeur Sanders should have been drafted. Like genuinely. I think he's a guy who has potential. Like, he should be on an NFL roster, but people are blowing his talent out of proportion. He's just not it. And not to mention, he's just like, he's a lightning rod for, what's the word? He's a lightning rod for, fucking controversy. And that's not totally his fault. I'm not going to, like, it's not totally on him. The media definitely like baits him into shit, and the media definitely gets on him. But you know, there's always something. I'm not handing the keys to my franchise to him. Also, like you said, pocket presence and decision making isn't very good. He has no pocket presence at all. He's like trying to make a decision and he gets sacked all the time. His decision making, it's bad because. You know, he rolls out and tries to make a play. He tries to make chicken salad out of chicken shit. I got Shedeur finishing the year as the starter for the Browns. I mean, if you're thinking Dillon Gabriel gets hurt, then yeah, maybe. Ardell, what's up, man? That's like the only way I could see it happening because there's, to me, my beloved Volunteers are trying to get this dub. Nice. But I don't know. Like I said, the accuracy was there. He completed a lot of passes. Other than that, he turned the ball over. Dillon Gabriel isn't good. He's better than Shedeur Sanders. And Dillon Gabriel has actually looked pretty okay. I at least thought so. They haven't like... Joe Hayden was saying it, and I listened to what he said. You know, the Browns really didn't let him do anything. Like, they didn't allow Dillon Gabriel to really open up the offense whatsoever, which is like so stupid. Sanders held onto the ball for too long with 2.96 yards on the floor, which increases turnover risk. Yeah, it was just, he had, like I said, he had no respect for the football. It's like, it's a big thing they talk about in the NFL is cherishing the possessions you have. And that was a big flaw with his game in college. Joey Aguilar is good. He is good. Tennessee's not bad. You can't say Gabriel isn't that good after this small of a sample size. It's crazy. And like I said, I feel like the Browns are doing him a disservice anyway. They didn't let him throw the ball deep until the end of that game against the Vikings, and he didn't look bad doing it. They tried to baby him into the job. Like, at this point, these guys, let it fly, man. But to say, like, Dillon Gabriel isn't good and they should go to Shedeur Sanders, I'm sorry. Like, that's a disaster waiting to happen. Shedeur might have a chance if he decided he didn't want to, like, shun the Ravens or anything. Maybe he'd be in there. We'd see what we'd see for ourselves. But nothing about Shedeur Sanders' game. Dillon Gabriel will be a backup by next season. If they bring in another quarterback, sure. Nathan, like, everything you said about Shedeur Sanders was, like, flat out wrong, though. And also, like, do you understand, like, during the draft, like, every time the Jets came around for a pick, I was, like, shitting a brick that the Jets were going to draft Shedeur Sanders. Like, I don't think he's that good. I don't. Like, I think coming into the year, I was like, this kid can show something, and I'm rooting for him. I don't want to sit here and say, like, pretend like I'm some big Shedeur Sanders hater. I hope he works out. I hope he figures his shit out. Jose, what's up, man? Gabriel going to start next season. I don't think the Browns are going to focus on quarterback. Yeah. No, definitely not. Like, if Shedeur Sanders figures it out, that'd be a great story. I really am rooting for the kid. But time and time again, it's like people are just making shit up about him. They're like, oh, why isn't he getting his chance? Because he was drafted in the 5th fucking round. Because they drafted Dillon Gabriel in the 3rd. Why would they give Shedeur Sanders a chance before the guy they drafted before him? It makes no sense. I agree, Flay. Hopefully he does good in the NFL, but he hasn't proved worthy. Yeah. You have drip? Hell yeah. I'm trying here. Listen, again, I hope Shedeur Sanders proves me wrong. Once Dillon Gabriel loses 6 in a row, the Browns will start Sanders. I'm telling you, they won't. They would be asinine to do it because they would basically be giving up on Dillon Gabriel. It would be a terrible decision. Because you might as well fucking restart the whole organization if you sit Dillon Gabriel. That would be the ultimate, like, the Cleveland Browns are a joke of an organization. It can't happen. Later, Jose. If they sit Dillon Gabriel to play Shedeur Sanders, and Dillon Gabriel is healthy, you might as well just restart the whole Browns franchise over again. It's the NFL, not Instagram. Exactly. I can't take it. And look, again, I hope Shedeur Sanders gets an opportunity somewhere, and I hope he proves me wrong. That would be awesome. That would be a great story. I highly doubt it. And people that are, like, drinking the Shedeur Sanders, like, all in on the Shedeur Sanders bandwagon, I don't get it. I'm back. Oh, fuck yeah. No, exactly. It's $1 billion business. Here's the thing. That's what I keep saying. People love Indiana, Oregon. Been very good. It's been a phenomenal game. Awesome. Sanders will get a look, just maybe not in Cleveland. Maybe not in Cleveland, but definitely not this year. Gabriel was a 3rd-round pick. You're acting like he's a number 2 overall pick. You're acting like Shedeur Sanders was. Nathan, do you hear yourself? Gabriel was a 3rd-round pick. Yes. Shedeur was a 5th round. Like, how are we even arguing here? And I'm not even sure why Cleveland drafted Shedeur Sanders in the first place. It was a terrible decision. There was no reason to do it. Other than, like, I guess they wanted to sell some fucking jerseys or something. Hype of social media. Yeah, Nate, it's just like, I understand, I don't understand. Hype of social media at work here, big time. It's literally people that are just crying and complaining, thinking, like, Shedeur Sanders is, like, some victim of something, like that people are trying to hold him back. He's not good. Like, he had potential to be a top pick. He had the tools. People looked at him, like, clearly when he was playing at Jackson State at a lower level, he showed plenty of tools to be a great quarterback. Then he got to Colorado and completely shit the bed. Malik Willis had 3 starts for Tennessee, third-round pick. So why would Gabriel get the rest of the season? Because that's a whole different situation. Listen, they didn't sit Malik Willis for a 5th-round pick. They wouldn't do that. Sanders didn't prove it in college. Well, yeah. Shedeur Sanders wasn't good enough in college. He could have... Listen, I think Shedeur Sanders should have been drafted. I think, a team taking a chance on him late in the draft, I don't think is crazy. Because, there is a potential there. The problem is he hasn't shown anything. He hasn't given you any reason to think he's a starting quarterback in the NFL. Other than you want to pretend like people are trying to hold him back. It's the absolute most ridiculous fucking thing going on right now in football. Is the Shedeur Sanders hype. He never did anything in college that would have made me think he deserves it. Why would I think he's going to do it in the NFL? If he wasn't Deion Sanders' son, he would not be in the league right now. He'd be playing in Canada. He'd be playing in the UFL, the XFL, whatever you want to call it. The fact that his last name is Sanders is the only reason he's there right now. And again, I hope he proves me wrong. I think he's a kid who's misguided. I think he's a kid that has no understanding of how to carry himself with the media and how to carry himself as the leader of... He brought Colorado to a top 25 AP rank, never been done before. That's just not true. Colorado won a national championship in the 90s. Nathan, now you just... See, Nathan, you have no... Come on, man. What? They literally won a national championship. Or they tied for one. I think they shared one. But still. What was it, 1994 with Cordell Stewart? Do you think USC beats Michigan today? I don't know. In the 90s, that's so long ago. You said never. What do you talk Nathan? You said it's never been done before. Colorado's been an unbelievable football school in the 90s. It was unbelievable at the time. They've gone through some dark times for sure. I think Deion Sanders has done a great job of making Colorado this premier program. Might as well. It's not never. It's not. See, Nathan, now you're just spewing garbage. Sorry. But again, Deion did a great job of making Colorado this premier program that people want to put eyes on. They have not been a great football team by any means. They went to a at best, B-rated bowl. Yeah, 1990. I didn't remember what year. The Alamo Bowl, and got fucking curb stomped by BYU. Embarrassed. It was embarrassing. Shedeur Sanders could have sat out. I give him a lot of credit for playing that game. I think he could have very easily sat out, waited for the draft, and it would have been a smart decision. He went out there and played, which is very admirable. A lot of college kids wouldn't do that. But then got embarrassed. Got fucking pistol whipped on national television. It was thoroughly embarrassing. There's not been one game that I've watched. Dillon Gabriel will lose 5 games in a row, looking horrible. No, he won't. No, Nathan, come on. That's just not going to happen. The Cleveland Browns might as well fold as an organization if they do that. That would be the stupidest thing. Because, why would you draft Dillon Gabriel if you're just going to give up on him like that? It would make no sense whatsoever. The lack of media savvy and professionalism pre-draft hurt Sanders, self-inflicted. Absolutely. Not to mention he really wasn't that good of a quarterback. Don't get me wrong. If, maybe he said a couple better things to the media, probably gets drafted, I don't know, 4th round, third round. But the fact that he has, no good leadership qualities, none whatsoever. So Dillon Gabriel can just suck and you don't bench him, in what world? Okay, if he's, fucking miserable, sure, Nathan. But the problem is the Browns are not in a position to carry, 190 yards and 2 touchdowns. Yeah, Dillon Gabriel looked great. Dillon Gabriel actually looked pretty good. And that was with Cleveland kind of holding him back. Did you see the play calling in that game? It was miserable. He was on his phone during draft meetings, apparently, and lost. Nathan, that's the NFL for you. The Browns are not a good team. The Cleveland Browns did not lose because of Dillon Gabriel. Seems like he genuinely does not give a fuck about anyone but himself. Exactly. That game, I'll never forget what he said after that Nebraska game. He was aloof. Yeah, he seemed, that's what I heard. He was disinterested what's his face said that. Didn't that was like Brian Dable went off on that. Like Brian Dable was like, we don't want any part of this kid. He went into the meeting and was like completely like uninterested in everything they had to say, and was like Dable was asking him questions like football questions, and he was like, he had no regard for anything. Nathan, if you're looking at wins and losses right now with the Cleveland Browns, you're looking at this wrong. Said straight up, who wouldn't play for it? Yeah, that's just ridiculous. He completely shot himself in the foot from the beginning. He did the whole thing in Nebraska where he said like, how many times did Dylan Raiola get hit today? Threw his offensive line under the bus in front of the national media. You don't do that. When you're the quarterback, when you're the leader of the football team, you don't do something like that. It is poor character traits for a quarterback. You are not handing your offense to a guy like that. You're not handing your franchise to a guy like that. Browns are not a good football team. Of course, they might lose more than they win. Exactly. You know, the quarterback isn't the end-all, be-all. But look, Nathan, you want to try to push your narrative that, oh, Shedeur Sanders deserves a chance, fine. You only do that if you're number one overall. Yeah. Listen, if Shedeur Sanders was good enough, nobody would care about any of that shit. Problem is he's not. He's stuck up for somebody who is just not that good of a quarterback. The whole shit pre-draft with him and Cam Ward, too. Like, you know, he was talking crazy. Jackson Dart is winning on a terrible Giants team. I don't want to hear it. I mean, he's 2-1, sure. Jackson Dart looks great. The Giants are a better football team than the Cleveland Browns. But again, if that's the metric you're going by, Nathan, and you think Shedeur Sanders is going to go out there and do better, like, I thank God. I hope that by some miracle, there's not some miracle that the Jets ask you to be in their front office. Not that the Jets are any good organization, but like, Flay, you got the Islanders Caps game on? I don't right now. I'm going to put it on in a little bit. I'm just enjoying this live. And Nathan, I don't mean to like go at you like that, but come on. It just doesn't work like that. Jackson Dart's going to lose a lot more games than he wins. They caught the Eagles at a very good time. I think the Eagles are falling apart. The Chargers, that game he played really well, and the Giants have a great defense too. You can't forget that. The Giants' defense is very good. And the Giants are not that untalented. Russell Wilson's just a fucking like shell of himself. The Giants roster as a whole, not bad. Sanders is going to be legendary. You could just see it when he plays. I don't know what the hell y'all looking at. Nathan, I'm watching the actual games. I'm not reading what I see on Twitter. What are you talking about? I'm giving you real things that he's done, and you're telling me he's great in the pocket. That's one of his biggest flaws is how bad he was in the pocket. You're telling me he makes great decisions. He makes terrible decisions. Time and time again. He holds onto the ball far too long. He doesn't he takes sacks that he shouldn't take. You know, Colorado would start a drive 1st and 10 on the second play. It'd be 2nd and 24 because he's backpedaling the whole time. He has a bad tendency of like not stepping up in the pocket. That was one of the biggest flaws. Is he would go back until he found an open receiver. The NFL doesn't, especially a quarterback. Exactly. Is it safe to say that the Eagles are overrated or too soon? I think the Eagles could come back and win some games and make the playoffs, but I don't think the Eagles are a Super Bowl team right now. I think Jalen Hurts is getting exposed a little bit. The teams are starting to let him try to air it out a little more. I think like that whole players only meeting thing with Saquon, AJ Brown, and Jalen Hurts was one of the weirdest things I've ever heard. And that's like a sign of a fractured locker room too. You know, like 3 players should not be meeting. Like 3 guys shouldn't be the only 3 meeting. Players only meetings in the NFL are never a good thing either. JJ Watt said it himself. If you ever have a players only meeting, you might as well start planning your vacation for January. Eagles coaches are smart. They're still a great team. They are. Listen, the Eagles are still a very talented football team. I think teams are starting to figure out their offense a little bit. For one, Boomer Esiason was saying, I just said Boomer again like a Maryland guy. Like, Boomer. I always say it like that because some lady on the radio always goes, Boomer. Like when she calls in. He was saying, like, you know, the Eagles are getting too predictable. Like, he was watching the game, and he could tell what they were doing every play because, like, they use, like, similar personnel to everything. It's like, it's not hard to figure out the Eagles' offense right now. Keep out Seattle. keep out for Seattle tight end AJ Barner. He's heating up back-to-back weeks of good games. He's looked good. Dylan Gabriel isn't going to win any games, and the Browns fans are going to demand Sanders be put in. Yeah, and they're going to lose even worse and be embarrassed, Nathan. It's not going to happen. I'm telling you, Dylan Gabriel looked good. He did. Jets and Raiders are the laughing stock of the league. It's not easy being a fan. Listen, Ardell, don't take this as any disrespect. You have not fought the battles I have fought as a Jet fan. You have no idea. The Raiders look bad, but if you walked one mile in my shoes, 1 mile, it wouldn't work. It would be awful. It would be miserable. Raiders have sucked for 35 years. They've had some success recently. They've been to a couple postseasons recently. Will Levis looked good in his debut game too. So what? Will Levis? Will Levis did look good. No, Will Levis had like one good drive and then threw the ball backwards and caused a turnover. Like, Will Levis did a lot of things stupid that game. He just got away with it. I remember that game vividly. Browns do bad with Sanders. He'll get shit on harder than Gabriel ever does. If the Browns bench Dylan Gabriel for Shedeur Sanders, they might as well fucking pack up and end the franchise. It's a terrible idea. Oh, I'm thinking of the Jet game. Never mind, Nathan. You're right. Sorry, I'm thinking of when he played the Jets. I thought that was week 1. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of the Jet game. You're right. All right, Will Levis threw for 4 touchdowns. You're right. So what? So you're right. It doesn't mean Dylan Gabriel is going to be good. I didn't say he's definitely going to be a great quarterback. But if you think they're benching him this year for Shedeur Sanders, I'd understand. Listen, if there was a veteran back there, if Joe Flacco was still there and Dylan Gabriel struggled, they might put in Joe Flacco. They won't do it with Shedeur Sanders. It would be a terrible decision. It would ruin the organization. Because Shedeur Sanders isn't good. I'm sorry. Like, he's not. You're right, Nathan. I had the games mixed up. I'm sorry about that. I was thinking the Jet game, but that was week 2. But I remember Will Levis. They were driving down the field and he was falling down and threw a ball backwards and fumbled. But that's probably what you would get with Shedeur Sanders. Will Levis had the same issue Shedeur Sanders has. He had no fucking respect for the ball. He was constantly turning it over. He was constantly making terrible decisions. So Sanders will get his chance. Somewhere. I don't think it's this year, and I don't think it's with Cleveland. Not tomorrow. And if they do, the Cleveland Browns everybody should get fired. I'm telling you, the whole staff, everybody. It would be pissing away your entire franchise. You want to have an open competition going into next year? Sure. Do it. If you're not sold on Dylan Gabriel. But not going to happen this year. If they really thought that highly of Shedeur Sanders, they wouldn't have taken Dylan Gabriel in the 3rd. Wouldn't have happened. What time are you heading out? Probably in the next 10, 15 minutes. I'm probably going to get an hour. I'm at 48 minutes right now. I'm probably going to stop at an hour and go turn the TV on and then get ready to head out. But, yeah, it's like apples and oranges. Also, I'm not even sure why the Titans ever went to Will Levis. Who was the quarterback before that? I'm trying to think. I'm trying to remember timeline. Tannehill? You will all see Sanders is legit. Trust me, I'm not worried. I've seen enough of Shedeur Sanders to know that he's not. And Nathan, trust me, I'm not trying to hate on the guy. I hope you're right, genuinely. I genuinely hope you're right on this one. I hope it's like, he proves me wrong, he's a great quarterback, because that would be a great story. It would be. It would be a phenomenal story, but I don't have high hopes. Nothing about his college career. You were right before it was Tannehill. So that was the thing. They had Will Levis waiting behind Tannehill. That's why they went to Will Levis at the time. And then Will Levis showed some stuff. They played him again the next year and realized he wasn't it. Now, no, you don't hate him. No, you don't. You hate him for no reason. Nathan, you love him for no reason. I would give him a fair shake. I'm giving him a fair shake. I've seen what I've seen. I've seen that he's a terrible leader. When you're giving a guy the keys to your franchise as your quarterback, you don't give it to a guy who threw his whole team under the bus, who constantly tried to pass the blame to other people when things would go wrong. A guy who has zero pocket presence, a quarterback. A guy who every time he got the ball would back up 10 feet before he tried to throw it. And that would cause sacks of 10 plus yards. And Cam Ward said we're ass. Is that good leadership? I mean, it's honesty. I mean, he didn't say anybody else was bad. He took the blame too. He didn't say the guys around me are ass. He put himself in that too. Honesty sometimes. Listen, is it a great thing to say? Is it a great fucking thing? Is it an aesthetically pleasing thing to say? No. No, I don't think Cam Ward should have said that, but he didn't say these guys are ass. He said we're ass. He put himself in the conversation. And he's telling it like it is. There's a sense of, there's a little bit of a sense. Here's the thing. If Shedeur Sanders came out and said after the Nebraska game, I got to do a better job of protecting my offensive line. I got to do a better job of seeing where the pressure is coming from. That's a whole different thing. We were terrible today. All he had to say was we were bad. He didn't say we were bad. He said my offensive line was bad. It's a different thing completely. Cam Ward coming out and saying we're bad is just honesty. Probably not a thing you want your quarterback saying, but a lot better than saying, hey, my offensive lineman didn't block for me today. It is not the same fucking argument whatsoever. You're saying I don't dislike Shedeur Sanders. I don't. I don't think he's the quarterback that everybody is making him out to be. Sanders was right. His offensive line was bad. That's being truthful. What's wrong with that? You don't throw your guys under the bus, Nathan. It's not the case. It's not the same thing. And his offensive line wasn't that bad. If you go back and actually watch what was going on, it's impossible to block for somebody that is backing up farther than you can block. It's leverage. He had no pocket presence. He would be out of the pocket, behind the pocket all the time, making it very easy to sack him. I can guarantee most of the sacks he took in college, a lot of them were probably his fault. It's basic quarterback play. But you don't come out and say that. That's not honesty. That's throwing your guys under the bus. That's not taking accountability. That's having a bad game and blaming everybody else and pointing the finger. That's terrible leadership. Oregon did not look good today. Indiana's the real deal. Shout out Mendoza. Fernando Mendoza's the man. I would love to have that guy in a Jet uniform. That's why no Colorado lineman got drafted. Listen, I'm not saying they were good. I'm not saying they were a great offensive line. Texas looks elite, do they? Trust me, I don't think Colorado had a great line by any means, but it's a lot harder to fucking block for a guy that's already back behind the pocket before you even know where he is. It's basic football 101. But you don't throw your offensive line under the bus, Nathan. Comparing what Cam Ward said to Shedeur is apples and oranges. It's not the same thing. If Shedeur said something even if he said the offensive line missed a couple blocks, but I didn't, but took some sort of accountability, would have been better. Texas' defense is elite. Texas has a really good defense. Shutting down Mateer in Oklahoma is a sign of that. They were ass, and Sanders had to let the fans know the reason he didn't win. Oh, Nathan, stop. Stop it. That's terrible. See, this is just you trying to, you're spreading propaganda here. No, that's terrible. That's letting NFL teams know they shouldn't touch you. Take accountability for something you didn't do is stupid. Oh my God. Nathan, you're giving me a headache here. You're the leader of the football team. You're supposed to take it on the head. You're the spokesman for the football team. You don't go up there and throw the other guys under the bus. That's fair. What you're saying is fair if you're getting charged with a crime you didn't commit. Sure. It says a lot about his character. Obviously, yeah, sure, Colorado's offensive line wasn't the best in the country. I get that. But him just like being like, oh, these guys suck, that's why I didn't play well. You can't do that. You're the quarterback. You're supposed to be the captain of the football team. It's a we thing. It's a team goal. It's everybody's like going for the same thing. You don't point out, hey, they were bad. And not to mention, if you actually go back and watch that game, there's a lot of times when Shedeur Sanders just held onto the ball too long. I remember going back and looking. Yeah, there were times where he got hung out to dry for sure. But there's times where like he's back in the pocket for like 4 seconds holding on to the football. Doesn't work. Does not work at the college level. And that's bad character. Awful. Yeah, no, Derek, 100%. That's all it is. But guys, I am going to hop off. I'm going to take off now. I might be live again later. I don't know. We'll have to see what the weather's looking like. I might be back at work tomorrow.